Nintendo continues its Metroid Prime legacy of original first-person shooters with Geist, a techno-thriller that gives you the power of possession. It's a unique adventure with lots of clever puzzles, but your options are limited as to who or what you can take over, making it an equally fun and frustrating game.
I think things will be very different with this one.
You're John Rainey, a government agent sent on a mission to infiltrate the Volks Corporation and see what underground projects they've been working on. You soon discover that Volks has developed a machine that can separate spirits from human bodies for use as soldiers and spies. Unfortunately, you find this out the hard way. Now, as a floating phantom, you have to stop these experiments before a spirit portal opens and something truly evil passes through. The most interesting element to the story is the idea of ghosts as biological weapons. Most of the people you're fighting have been informed that you've escaped and are currently running loose somewhere in the base. It's fun to spy on these people that either don't know you're there or don't know you've possessed someone they're familiar with. You'll spend a lot of the game as a free-floating spirit. As a ghost, you can only pass through chain-linked fences and scattered holes in the wall identified by a gust of air. The best part about being a spirit is that everything slows down, giving you more than enough time to explore each environment. You slowly lose spectral energy while in ghost form, but you can get it back by sucking the life force from plants. And your energy meter drops so slowly, it almost never becomes a problem. There are two types of targets you can possess in Geist: inanimate objects and living beings like people or animals. To possess anything that's alive, you need to scare it first. One of the most frustrating parts of the game is that there are only specific objects you can use to frighten people into submission. Items that can be possessed have a red glow, but this doesn't appear until you examine them. This makes some of the scares less than fun, because you spend half the time looking around, examining each object, searching for whatever the game tells you to use. The first-person shooter controls, whenever you've possessed someone that's armed, are a little goofy for someone who's not familiar with the GameCube controller. Controlling a first-person perspective can get frustrating on a controller with two different sized analog sticks. The enemy AI in these situations feels very scripted, and you can't alternate your weapons or pick up new ones. You're stuck with the weapon the host had when you entered him. The upside, even though it takes away from the realism a bit, is that every gun has unlimited ammo. Geist's body-jumping gameplay also makes for some very interesting multiplayer, with up to 4 players on a split screen. There are 3 multiplayer modes that have humans and ghosts facing off against each other with varied objectives. One will have you grabbing any human or explosive object you can find to exercise your friends. Another forces you to possess a host and run him off a cliff as your opponents use anti-ghost weapons in an attempt to bust you. On the negative side, the graphics don't achieve a sense of realism. Everything has a colorful cartoon feel, which can sometimes contrast the game's graphic content. There's random scenes of gore and partial nudity that seem like they should be in a different game. On the positive side, you can see a reflection in mirrors, whether you're disembodied or controlling an unsuspecting human. And traveling as a ghost in slow motion gives you opportunities to take advantage of the game's ragdoll physics. One of the most entertaining things about Geist is that your perspective is constantly changing. One minute, you're a dog barking at a bunch of rats. The next, you're one of those rats. Also, every object you possess gives you a view of its interior that you can control with the analog stick. Geist is truly a shooter unlike anything you've ever played before. The gift of possession is a lot of fun to play around with. When you know what you can possess, that is. It can get very frustrating, but overall, Geist is a clever adventure with enough exciting gameplay to keep GameCube lovers entertained.